Hey there, happy Friday. Welcome to Carolina News Now. I'm Maddie Gardner coming to you from the News Now desk. We hope that you are having an awesome week. And if you missed any of the top stories this week, that is why Carolina News Now is here. We are going to get you caught up on everything you may have missed. We are powered by 6 television stations across North and South Carolina. If you're watching on Facebook, tell us where you're watching from. We would love to interact with you this Friday afternoon as we head into the weekend. Speaking of the weekend, you are probably wondering what the weather is going to be like, so I'm going to send it over now to Andrew Dockery for our regional weather forecast.
Well, a cool morning here across the Carolinas. First Alert meteorologist Andrew Dockery here, and we continue to look at those 40s across North Carolina, even the mid 40s here down near the beaches. Along the Grand Strand today, mid 60s. We're actually starting to warm up on the beaches. You go up toward the mountains, though, it's those 50s and 60s as clouds begin to increase. Of course, for the weekend, a warm Saturday, but we will be colder on Sunday thanks to a cold front that begins to move through. You notice we take you through your weekend forecast. Some of the rain starts, especially up across North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina as we go into late Saturday. That then works its way down toward the PD and the Grand Strand overnight Saturday and into Sunday morning. Of course, for the rest of Sunday, we begin to cool off and see those temperatures drop. Here's a look at your weekend across the Carolinas. Overall temperatures near records here in Myrtle Beach and even near Florence and Lumberton. A little bit cooler as you go off to the northwest. Notice Sunday, everyone sitting in the 50s with 51 in Asheville, 55 in Charlotte, and 58 here in Myrtle Beach.
Andrew, thank you so much. Maybe your weekend plans include going to grab a beer at one of your local breweries. Well, this should not surprise you. The supply chain is already impacting several local businesses, breweries included. Aluminum cans are in short supply, and because of that, your local beer maker might be starting to use growlers or some other sort of device to hold your favorite beverage in. So we're going to go to Charleston now. KAMRI SYLVE checked in with a local brewery there to see how they are handling the shortage of aluminum.
Tradesman Brewing in Charleston started using cans for their craft beers in 2018. Before that and now, during the can shortage, staff uses growlers for packaging.
Anybody watching your story tonight would say, yeah, I've definitely seen a difference in my favorite brand of beer over the past few months, or the past 4 months has gone up.
Growlers, coming in 23 or 64 ounces, are airtight beer vessels. Think of it like a small keg.
If they have to adjust for a little bit, understanding what's going on in the market, they usually do, because they know that you're going to get back to doing what you do best, which is helping them get their favorite beer from you.
Tradesman says when they did have cans, it came from a mobile can service, which upped their prices during the pandemic.
If we were to sell it at the price point that we had set originally, we would only make a profit of 2 cents a can, 2 to 5 cents a can.
They've gone down the creative route, but local breweries tell me it's not just beer playing a factor in this shortage.
Pepsi or Coke or RC Cola or Cheerwine or seltzers or tonic water or canned juices or any of those things that you see on a grocery store that you don't think of as an aluminum can.
That was KAMRI SYLVE reporting from Charleston. Certainly something to think about next time you go to the grocery store or your local brewery. You know, the pandemic did not just impact life as we know it. It really took a hard hit on our economy. But South Carolina economists released their state outlook report this week, and they are hopeful that they will see recovery by 2022. They released these findings earlier this week, and at Carolina News Now's Mary Green is breaking down their discoveries.
Economists at the University of South Carolina say South Carolina is one of just 11 states where the size of the labor force has rebounded back to where it was before the pandemic, and that the state's overall economic recovery has been better than most other states.
Part of that is due to policy. Our shutdown was more targeted and it was more limited. And obviously the longer that a business has to stay shut down, the less likely it's going to be able to recover.
These economists say the nature of South Carolina's economy also played a role, as more people spending money on goods boosted the state's manufacturing and logistics sectors. And while tourism is important to South Carolina, they say it doesn't depend on it as much as other states like Florida or Hawaii. But they add the state's ongoing labor shortage will likely continue to challenge South Carolina's economy. Even as its population grows at a faster rate than most other states, economists say the majority of people moving here are retirement age and won't be filling those open jobs.
There's a major mismatch then between supply and demand in terms of what we're seeing right now. So it's not enough for businesses just to recapture the employees that they lost during the pandemic. They need those workers, but they need more. They need more workers because of the higher levels of demand.
And those economists say the other major challenge facing South Carolina in 2022 is inflation. They report for about 40% of the state's workforce, their wages haven't been enough to keep up with rising costs. Reporting from Columbia, I'm Mary Green.
Mary, thank you so much. A lot of COVID-19 related news this week. First, we are hearing more about the Omicron variant of the virus. It is still relatively new to the United States, but experts and researchers are starting to learn more about how it may affect our trends in the Carolinas. We also learned about booster shots. Pfizer was just approved to give booster shots to 16 and 17-year-olds. This just happened yesterday, and both North and South Carolina's health departments say that those boosters should go ahead and be given. In fact, several vaccine providers that we spoke to say that they are seeing an increase in people coming to get booster shots right before the holidays. So we put those two big stories together, the Omicron variant and boosters, and that's why we have Maddie Kurth in Greenville to break that down.
When thinking about the COVID-19 vaccine and mutant variants like Omicron, think explosions.
If you hit something with a bomb, and if you hit nearby, you're still going to get a lot of destruction, but it's not going to be perfect like a perfect hit.
The vaccine, or the bomb in this previous analogy, that's in millions of arms across the country, was not made to fight the new Omicron variant, but the vaccine's explosion is still providing some protection.
And mutations happen naturally. The part that's really unnatural is that there's so many people that are sick, and of course, when there are this many people that are sick, higher chances of a mutation actually occurring that's going to be more contagious or more deadly.
A number of the mutations are in areas where we can make neutralizing antibodies to, and it has knocked those out. So we know there will be less protection.
Which is why breakthrough cases in fully vaccinated individuals are popping up.
Any change in a virus will change how the vaccines and the treatments that were originally for a different strain of it will work.
Pfizer announced preliminary findings that its booster shot is effective in fighting Omicron.
But it's not going to be as good protection as it was against the Delta variant.
Still, experts said that some protection is better than none. The reality of severe COVID infection for those unlucky to survive it is far more taxing than a quick and painless death.
They may not be thinking about, they could be in the hospital on a ventilator for 2 months while their family's watching them die.
For Carolina News Now, I'm Maddie Kurth, WITN, Greenville, North Carolina.
Maddie, thank you. If you are just joining us, whether you're watching on Facebook, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, wherever you may be watching this afternoon, we are so glad you are joining us. If you are on Facebook, please let us know where you are watching from. This is Carolina News Now. We are bringing you the top stories from across North and South Carolina this week, and we are so happy you are joining us on this Friday. I want to head now to Wilmington. We have a tragic story to report this Friday. Overnight, a car crashed into an apartment building and killed a man's fiance. Just a terrible story there. Cassie Simmons spoke to that man about how his life is forever changed.
December 4th, a night Luis Rodriguez will never forget. With his son asleep in his room, Rodriguez turned in for the night with his fiancée, Kelly Prince. Little did he know, his life was about to change forever.
It was just a loud crash. And like I said, I was just startled. I mean, I didn't know what was going on, whether it sounded like an explosion or what it was.
A car slammed into their apartment at Hawthorne Commons just before 3 a.m., jolting the couple awake with their home in shambles.
She was yelling and screaming, asking for her inhaler, and of course, with everything obliterated in the bedroom, I couldn't find it or anything.
Fighting through the pain of a dislocated shoulder, he did everything he could to help his fiancée.
One of the firefighters come through the apartment and was trying to knock down the door, and then I had to push some furniture out of the way to get to the door. And then I turned to Kelly, said, we're going to get through this. Help is here. And then I said, I love you, Kelly. And that was the last I spoke with her.
Prince died at New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Now Rodriguez tries to heal from both the physical and emotional wounds he sustained that night, with the support from Prince's family in South Carolina.
We're all banding together, trying to help each other cope with this senseless tragedy.
The man facing charges in that hit and run made his first court appearance earlier this week. He's now in jail under a $100,000 bond. For Carolina News Now, Cassie Simmons, WECT News.
Cassie, thank you so much. Such a sad story there. I want to take you now, staying in South Carolina, to Horry County. You know, when I saw this story come up, I thought this has got to be science fiction. Robots and drainage pipes beneath the streets of South Carolina. It sounds wild, but it is happening, and the county says it is actually helping them save both time and money. They can quickly find the problems and repair them. So let's send it out now to Zach Wilcox to tell us more about these robots.
Cracks, leaks, and holes are easier than ever to detect in the county's drainage system thanks to this guy, Wally the Crawler.
I get to find things underneath the surface that not many people get to see, so it's definitely exciting. There's always something new to be found for sure.
Horry County Public Works engineering technician Matthew Hughes has been catching more things under the surface than ever lately thanks to his new partner. And it's not another human. It's Wally the robot.
You go inside the pipe and you can actually do a 360 view of the joint of the pipe, so you can get a better perspective of what you can see.
In the old days, Matthew would use a pole camera to inspect pipes, but Wally is rebooting that approach by allowing Matthew to go hundreds of feet into poles and still get a 360 view of everything going on inside.
The big thing with the county is time. So the less amount of time it takes for us to fix this and we can move on to something else, the better off we are.
Matthew says Wally helps Public Works determine if pipes need to be totally replaced or if they can spot dig and fix one area. The bot is also used to inspect pipes in new developments. Just last week, Wally uncovered flaws in a pipe at a new development, so the project was halted until the pipe could be addressed.
It helps us maintain a higher level of standard for our contractors.
Wally, the truck, and the software cost about $130,000, but saving time and money by catching problems early enough to prevent catastrophic failures computes into an upgrade for Horry County Public Works. Wally here may be getting a partner pretty soon. The county is looking into getting another crawler for the stormwater division. That way they can keep saving that much more time and money.
Pretty cool stuff there, Zach. Thank you so much. Well, it is Friday. I don't think I need to tell you that again. We are all excited that the weekend is here. Maybe your weekend plans include heading out to a shopping center and getting some holiday shopping done. What would you do if you go to park in front of the shopping center and you see deputies on horseback patrolling the parking lot? That is exactly what is happening in Union County, South Carolina. Our Morgan Newell is going to tell us much more about these deputies who are saddling up, hoping to catch shoplifters.
No, you've not been transported onto a ranch. This is the Lowe's parking lot in the Clover Lake Wiley area.
We want to be out here and just be seen. Hey, how you doing?
Corporal Mark McCarter leads the Mounted Patrol Division, and on Thursday, Josie and Cochise help him out. York County Sheriff's brings them out for busy crime times like the holiday season.
We can see people and kind of watch them and see what they're doing, and typically when people spot us out there, I mean, it's odd to see two horses patrolling a parking lot.
But those horses are the eyes and ears to sniff out anything suspicious.
The more people see us out here, the less likely they are to do things like that.
Sometimes it doesn't always go that way. McCarter says the patrol breaks up fights and catches people stealing many times.
People that tried to run from us, and that didn't work out well for them. You know, they're not going to outrun a horse.
And while they walk the parking lots with the goal of keeping people safe, the horses have another more crowd-pleasing job as well.
They come up and they want to pet the horses and see the horses, and anything we can do with a positive experience as far as an interaction with the public and the police, obviously we're out here to do that.
The horses would probably say it's the best part of the job.
Police officers have dogs and things. They're unapproachable. You're not supposed to touch them. You're not supposed to come up to them. So I think that's cool that they're letting people just come up and welcoming them.
Well, that might just be my favorite story of the week. Thank you so much, Morgan, for telling us more about that. All right, well, we want to make sure you get one more check of the regional forecast before you officially begin the weekend here. We're going to check in now with meteorologist Rachel Coulter to see what we can expect.
I'm WBTV meteorologist Rachel Coulter, and I want to break down our weekend rain chances because a cold front's going to be swinging through, so we'll be warm and breezy on Saturday till the rain moves in, and then we'll be a little bit cooler, more seasonable heading into your Sunday across the Carolinas. Could see some morning showers. That'll be a possibility, but it's going to be in the afternoon hours where we start to see that leading edge of showers and thunderstorms even move into the mountain region and eventually into the foothills by the evening time frame. So we're talking about the early dinner evening hours and even into about 10 o'clock. That's going to be making its way into the Piedmont region, pushing out towards the East Coast by Sunday morning, eventually clearing out, leaving us with mostly, if not completely, dry conditions through your Sunday with lots of sunshine and more seasonable conditions as we wrap up the second half of the weekend. But we could see an isolated strong to gusty storm in the western Carolinas. That's going to be possible from Greensboro down towards Charlotte into Greenville, Asheville, and Boone heading into your weekend.
Rachel, thank you so much. And thank you for joining me this Friday on Carolina News Now. We are here every Friday at 1 o'clock. Again, this is a show powered by 6 television stations across North and South Carolina. It is a great way to get caught up on any news that you may have missed throughout the week. And we do love interacting with you on Facebook. Thanks to all who tuned in today. Once again, I'm Maddie Gardner, and we hope that you have a fabulous weekend.